Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a track by track for my first and one and only EP that I have out at the moment. It's called Teeth. I released it about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's still not on iTunes, I'm working on that. So a track by track is basically where you talk about each song, like how you wrote it, what the lyrics mean to you and stuff like that. So I'm going to get into that. Track 1 is called Sparks, and when I wrote this song I was listening to a lot of Melanie Martinez, so it's kind of like smooth, feminine kind of vocals, which is not what I always do. So this song is kind of like sexy in a way. I wrote it at like 1 AM, I just sang it into my phone, and it's just kind of like a smooth, gentle, slightly like sensual song. And then it's only a short song, it's like an intro track, and towards the end I just put in some like bit more chunky rocky chords to kind of introduce the rest of the EP. That song's pretty small and pretty straightforward. Track 2, Wild's End, is my favourite song probably out from the EP. The reason why it's called Wild's End is because Wild's End is a play on the phrase wit's end, obviously, like I'm at my wit's end, like when you're about to like get triggered. And Wild's End is one of my favourite comic book series, which is about these little animals that like find an alien and stuff. And anyway, I always just liked the title of that comic book for some reason. So when I was writing the lyrics, it just kind of came out. Instead of using the words wit's end, I used the words Wild's End. That's the first time I've noticed that happen as I'm recording. I normally only notice it when I'm editing afterwards, where I'm talking and my brain just does like a thing where I start thinking about the next sentence and my voice just kind of goes like that. Anyway, yeah, this song, the lyrics, basically about trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, basically. Like, I'm always kind of, it seems like I'm all over the place in between things, especially on my YouTube channel. Obviously the main thing that's been consistent with me is music. I want to be a musician, but sometimes I want to get like a real job. I want to look for something in music where I can be like, I don't know, maybe work for a magazine or something like that. But then the other half of me, well, the main part of me still thinks, no, just stay with a part-time job and keep working on being an actual like performer, even though it feels like it's not going anywhere sometimes. You don't want to miss out on that chance while I'm still young. So yeah, there's a big part of me that wants to get a proper job, and then there's also all these other things that I'm interested in that sometimes I go through a bit of a phase where I'm slightly more interested in that than music. Obviously not like as far as history is concerned, like music is always going to be my #1 thing, but sometimes you go through those weeks where you're just like obsessed with something. Like acting or drama, Jesse Eisenberg got me through a kind of hard time in my life, not like personally, but I got into Jesse Eisenberg movies and I was just watching all of those, and it just completely distracted me from what was going on. My face is so itchy today, I feel like my fluffy hair's getting all in my face. So yeah, Jesse Eisenberg movies, and also Cameron Monaghan in Gotham was really inspiring, and I started taking acting lessons, and that's a big thing for me now. I've recently done my first ever acting showcase, and more cool stuff coming up with that. Obviously, if you follow me on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat or anything, you'll see more of this kind of stuff, if you're interested in any of that. And so yeah, the lyrics. Do you think I'm losing it if I'm always wasting time, if I can't make up my mind, flitting between ridiculous dreams, I'm always stuck in defence, I'm at my wild's end. Yeah, so flitting between ridiculous dreams is obviously like, oh, I want to be an actor but I also want to be a musician, and it's like, it's just, I don't seem to have an actual plan B. I just kind of have my part-time job and then one of these things that should pick up, if that's ever gonna happen. Who knows? But yeah, I'm gonna keep trying with music. Music's the main thing that people leave comments a lot saying like, don't give up on music, and I would never just stop playing music. That's like impossible. I think if you really like music, you can't just stop doing it, but obviously at one point in my life it will probably just become a hobby rather than something that I'm trying to turn into a career, do you know what I mean? So yeah, and then the chorus is, I know it's too much to listen to, but it's what I have to say to you. I'm done swimming in toxic waste. I'm learning that friendly smiling face. So if I might accidentally say some of the lyrics wrong, by the way, in this EP, even though I wrote them, it's just weird saying them instead of singing them. That's pretty self-explanatory. I'm done swimming in toxic waste means I'm done putting myself through like shit with certain people, and also I'm putting on this friendly smiling face means that I am basically being better at socializing. Like, I've got a bit of an anxiety thing and I'm just really socially awkward, and people come up to you a lot and they're kind of, I think they're trying to be nice, but it just, I don't know, it just always made me feel kind of awkward. Stuff like, oh, you should go on the X Factor, it makes me want to say like, why can't you support my music now without me having to try and get someone like Simon Cowell on my side? And yeah, stuff like that. The chorus is kind of self-explanatory in that way. The second verse is probably one of my favorite verses that I've ever written. Sorry, I just got distracted by this coming off my jeans. Friendly smiling face. To make it easier when I have to be around these people who have to ask why I am who I am, who have no idea who they are. It's up while it's down, it's in while it's out. You paint over the pen marks, you wear a mask more often than Tony Stark. Obviously that's about covering up who you actually are. The friendly smiling face ends up being a part of who they are, and they don't really know who they are anymore. These kind of people who are constantly looking at me as if I'm the weird one. That's basically that. I just love that Tony Stark line. It just came out and it was like, yeah, this is perfect to me. So in a way, this song's kind of really into my comic book kind of love. So yeah, that's pretty much that entire song. I have a music video coming out for this song. I'm gonna say like 2 or 3 weeks. I could be wrong, but me and my friend are just editing it. Like, neither of us are professionals with this kind of stuff, but we're gonna make it look as professional as possible. He's doing most of the work. I know I just said that like we're editing it, but he's editing it, and I'm just gonna meet up with him sometimes and kind of say this could be like this, I don't know. So yeah, big thanks to Matt again, my photographer, my main homie. We have a joke where I call him my manager as well, and I'm like, where are all my gigs? You're like the worst manager ever, get me some gigs. But yeah, so big thanks to Matt Perks. I'll leave his Instagram down there again if you're into cool photography stuff. So yeah, that song's probably one of my favorites. The next song is To See and Not to Hear. So this song, people have asked if it's like a breakup song or if it was kind of like, so I think some people have just said it's kind of sweet, but basically the story behind this song is that, for starters, the chord progression I probably played like 2 years ago for the first time, and I was just kind of sitting on it and I would just play it when I was playing guitar. Like, it's just this nice chord progression that I really liked, but I never really thought it would fit into a song properly. I thought it was a bit too difficult for me to play on like while singing at the same time. So that's why once I start singing I start strumming it a bit more. Well, I don't know if I do in the recording, but I do when I play it like straightforward, like live. So yeah, that I really like the chord progression. The lyrics basically are about a girl becoming really obsessed with a guy, possibly someone who's like famous or in a band or whatever, becoming really obsessed with them. And even though this guy has a girlfriend, she just believes that they should be together basically, and she ends up like killing his girlfriend and breaking into his house and being like, we can be together now and stuff, and he calls the police. And the last lines are like, even as they take me away, I know I'll be with you again someday. And that part was kind of eerie and really weird in my opinion, because it's like, even as she's about to go to prison basically for murdering a woman, eventually one day she'll come back out of prison, and she's basically saying like, I'll still be in love with you because I know that we're like soulmates or whatever. So yeah, this song was basically about a stalker. Obviously there's always, whenever you write a piece of music or create art in any kind of way, there's parts of yourself that you put into it. Obviously I have been kind of obsessed with people, not like, well, technically the term obsession is when it gets in the way of your actual life, so I don't know whether you'd actually use the term obsessed, because I've never been obsessed with someone to the point where it's got in the way of my like daily life. I don't think, but obviously you are really inspired by people and you really feel like if I met this musician or YouTuber, like we'd be able to connect, we'd be like, they're just amazing. So yeah, obviously I can connect to it in that way, but obviously it is just a story. It's just a story. It's just a story. So yeah, the reason why I wanted to write a song like this for a while is because of songs like Hello by Lionel Richie, and Every Step You Take by Sting or The Police. I always just was really interested by those kind of songs where it kind of turns out that there was a lot more to the lyrics than you might have initially thought. It's not really just a love song or like a sad song or a breakup song. It's actually about like a stalker and obsession between fan and musician in a way. So yeah, that song is slightly more interesting. There's 3 verses. It's almost twice as long as the rest of the songs on the EP because it's like 5 minutes long. But yeah, I hope you like it. I have heard some good feedback about that one. I've heard good feedback in general, but I think a couple of people pointed out this song and also the song Ticking Away. Track 4 is called If I Could Feel Love. This song, when I wrote it, felt like kind of a show tune, like it should be played on ukulele, and the reason why it felt like that was because it was inspired by a short little performance that Jesse Eisenberg did in one of his movies, and it's called If I Was Real. That's how it goes. He's like, if I was real, I better. Anyway, I shouldn't sing the song because I think I might still be able to get done for copyright for singing a clip of a song. I'll leave the link in the description. So you will be able to notice immediate similarities. Obviously, I don't think they are the same chords or the same like rhythm or anything like that, but when you listen to one, you can see the similarities between the songs. So yeah, it's one of those things where there's a lot of songs that sound like that chord wise, but it still felt unique to me because of the lyrics and also because it was unique in comparison to the rest of the music that I write, because it's just 2 or 3 chords, I think. Yeah, just 2 or 3 chords, and I just kind of went with it. Normally I try and come up with something like, oh, the chords have to be like in this way or something like that, like they have to have a rocky rhythm. Well, I don't really think they have to, but anyway, so I just kind of wrote this song freely. It's kind of like that blues chord progression which was like in so many songs throughout the 50s and 60s, and even used in a lot of songs these days, that chord progression that's just so like out there. This is one of those songs where the chord progression's probably been used a million times, but I still wanted to write the song, and yeah, it wasn't like trying to be unique or anything like that. The lyrics, basically I have recently gone through a breakup, even though that was not about, I mean, even though track 3 wasn't about a breakup. I have recently gone through a breakup, and this was a song that I wrote not too long after the breakup. Obviously, like I said, Jesse Eisenberg, his movies kind of helped me through that time in a way. My like little mini obsession with Jesse Eisenberg kind of distracted me, and then when I saw that clip I was like, that's really cute. I'd like to write a song like that, which is kind of like just a short show tune kind of song that could be possibly used in like a play or anything like that. So I started writing this song, and the lyrics, in a way, at first I was thinking about like trying to understand things like asexual, like are they just not necessarily sexually attracted to someone when they first meet them and then they have to get to know them? Could they be possibly attracted to anyone if they get to know them and they realize they're a really beautiful person? So I was just thinking about like different sexualities and stuff like that, the possibility of being like bisexual or gay or whatever. Most people go through that thought process like at least once in their life, thinking, could I be gay? I know I'm obviously not gay because Josh Dunn. Yeah, I've thought, could I have a girlfriend and stuff? So that's where some of the lyrics came from. And I've never really, I don't think I've ever been in love with a girl, but I wouldn't put that past myself in a way, like I don't know. So yeah, those the lyrics. There's a bit of humor in this song as well, because I just wanted it to not to try and be like anything. I've already said that a second ago about the chord progression, but I didn't want to try and be serious with it or try and be artistic. I just wanted to like be myself in this song and not concentrate too much on the chords. If I could feel love, I find myself a boy, we'd eat oodles of noodles together. If I could feel love, I find myself a girl, we'd hold hands and we'd feel safe and warm. If I could feel love, I'd wake up early for breakfast and I wouldn't have to hope for more. That line is kind of like, I'd enjoy just being in love and I'd look towards the future, like getting married and stuff like that, but I've never felt that much, I don't think. Possibly in my last relationship, but I've never I think been okay with the idea of not having a career as a musician. That's always been like my #1 thing. Like if I had to choose one day being married with kids or being a musician, I'd choose being a musician. So that's what that line meant to me. And then the next line is, I might be more of a dog person, I could go on walks in the rain rather than sitting in my room and being kind of a little emo or whatever. So yeah, there's just a bit of humour in this song. I don't know if you felt like there was humour in it when you listen to it, but that's the way I intended it. So yeah, towards the end it has a bit of like a depressing thing in it, like what if I'll never fall in love. There is that kind of thing that everyone worries about, but that wasn't the way I intended it. It wasn't meant to be like I actually feel like I'll never feel love again or anything like that, because this breakup, even though there is like a small percentage of that in the lyrics, most of it is just kind of like a joke. Not a complete joke, but like a bit of a play on like, can I feel love? What, who would I love? I don't know. So yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. If you listen to the lyrics, you might get it. Track 5 is Like a Fox. I wrote that about a year ago. That's already on my YouTube channel. It's kind of political in the way because I wrote it when David Cameron was apparently trying to bring back fox hunting and stuff, and I was just like, are you serious? Do you not have time? Other things to put your time into as the Prime Minister of a country, rather than trying to like murder innocent animals. So yeah, it's kind of political in that way. Foxes are obviously my favourite animal, you all know that. It's kind of like a running theme. They just mean a lot to me because I feel like they're really misunderstood and they're just trying to keep themselves alive a lot of the time. I was basically kind of writing it, kind of looking through the eyes of a fox in a way, seeing humans. I already see humans in that way a lot of the time, but it's kind of like, I'll go through the lyrics and it might explain it a little bit more. Like a fox in the day, I see you try to find me, but what would you say? Watching from afar or hiding away? Is it all a dream? Could I maybe stay close enough to see, but not nearly close enough to play these games? That's kind of like a rap. Yeah, basically imagining going through the woods and there's a fox from far away. They want to watch you. Are they hiding from you, or are they just kind of watching what you're about to do, or do they already know that you could possibly be the kind of person that's gonna hurt them and they're just hiding from you? I think it's because there's so many metaphors in this song that make it really hard to explain. Close enough to see but not nearly close enough to play these games is obviously like, I will observe you but I don't really want to be involved in all your shit. That's basically the way I feel about politics. So when I'm kind of brutally honest in a way and I talk about politics and stuff, I get kind of heated, and I think a lot of the people like in my family or my friends seem to think that I say things that are in a way out of order, but in my opinion they're not out of order. I think people are just way too selfish sometimes, the way they treat animals and stuff like that. And then the chorus, would it be nice to turn off the lights and see you scrambling for the nearest thing to hold on to? Would you then see the truth? It's basically saying, if you were put in the situation that some people are put into, you would see things completely different, and you should already be imagining yourself in their situation before you judge them on anything. Like accepting refugees, for example. This kind of thing that they're going through, a war-torn country, we could be put through if something goes wrong. So then if you was trying to escape your country and you was scared for your children's life, I don't think you'd appreciate being treated the way that we treat them. These are just points I'm making. All of it is just kind of basically the way I feel on the world right now. A lot of metaphors in there, like in the second verse, I see you smile at me but I can see those teeth, do you want to crawl back where you came? It's basically like there's so much behind a smile. Is it fake? Are they just smiling at you to kind of be nice to you so that they can get something out of you? You might smile at someone and then bite them in the backside, basically. And then the middle eight is the most obvious part, I think, where I say like, so long whatever you say has been how it's done. Would people rather lead a planet that no person could even live on? How much can you ignore before you just let go of it all before it all falls down? That's like the leaders, the most powerful people. They just kind of take whatever they want. They'll like suck the life out of their own country and their own people and the animals, the innocent animals. Sorry if the view just changed a bit. My camera stopped because I think I was talking for too long or something. So yeah, basically Like a Fox is kind of the hardest to explain, but I do think people get it when they listen to it. And track 6, the final song, Ticking Away, is about feeling like your time is running out. When are you going to get to your life together, basically? This isn't the way things were planned. You procrastinate a lot. I thought by 23 I would have already been on like a world tour or something, but I didn't seem to put in the effort to actually get myself there. I let myself get distracted by like boys and friends and stuff, and I'm not I don't think I'm doing that anymore. I think I've finally wrote and recorded my own EP instead of hoping that someone else would be able to record me or something like that. Let's go through the lyrics. Let's go back to when nothing else mattered but this. I could listen to the same track list over and over every day and I wouldn't even play because I've never really been that good with my hands anyway. Back when I was a teenager, I'd just listen to the same bands over and over and over and just feel so inspired. I wouldn't even necessarily want to cover the song. Nowadays, when I find a new song, one of the first things I want to do is learn it and cover it, whereas back then it was just purely the passion for listening. So that's just basically what I was saying in that. It was kind of nice back then to not have to worry about stuff in a way. Obviously I wouldn't, if I wanted to stop covering music, I'd just stop. That's not the point I'm making. I'm just saying it's kind of nostalgic in a way. Get home earlier than everyone else because I just need some time by myself. Lately I've been feeling that same way. Too many jobs to plan ahead, but when it gets to the day I just sit in bed wondering about if I'd have done something else instead. So that's a procrastinating thing. Obviously you plan to do so many things in that day, and then when it gets to the day you just feel like I really don't want to do anything today. I don't know, it's just procrastinating and worrying about things. Obviously that's just, you know how that feels. And the chorus is really simple. It's just one line: ticking away, the years go by ticking away, the years go by so fast I never realized it's ticking away. That just means when you think about, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, so many tomorrows come and go really fast, so you need to do it today. Just do it like that. Second verse, a bit of humor thrown in there again. What do you mean I'm not 50? What do you mean I'm not 15? So I gathered up all my years just to end up in my 20s. Well, that's not how I had it planned. I want to get a better job, but there's still a part of me that's holding on. What if I could still go long? That's pretty self-explanatory. I've already kind of talked about that kind of thing. Like, if I could have a proper job, but then I might miss out on the chance to be able to tour or something like that, who knows. Yeah, and that's pretty much the whole song. And then there is a little hidden track or B-side, whatever you want to call it, which is the song Lifted. This has already been on my channel, the song Lifted, and I recorded it a few months ago before I recorded this EP, so it's not as good quality, I don't think, but I still think it's a decent enough recording to give away for free. So yeah, that's a little hidden B-side for if you download my EP. It's just an uplifting song I wrote thinking about yoga and stuff, like lifting from the soul and stuff. There's just lyrics like that. It's just kind of uplifting, and I added some little harmonies in there. And yeah, so that's the track 7. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it kind of interesting in a way, and I hope you like my EP. So I'm gonna put the money from my EP towards getting some more instruments, and I'm gonna try playing some gigs and stuff like that. I say that all the time. This Tuesday, Tuesday the 2nd, I'm not sure when I'll be uploading this video, but Tuesday the 2nd of August I'm playing at an open mic night in Manchester. So if you live in Manchester and you can make it down, come see me. I'm only getting 3 songs, but still I'm getting back on the horse in a way by playing an open mic night. And yeah, we'll hopefully have more stuff planned like that in future, maybe hopefully in different cities. I really want to play in some different cities. I've never played in a different city before, except for when I went on a holiday to Los Angeles once. I played at 2 songs at an open mic night. That was when I was like 19. So yeah, I would still like to join a band or something like that, but I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket anymore. I would obviously love to be in a band, but I'm gonna concentrate on doing things for myself. All my links are in the description if you want to come say hi on Snapchat or anything like that. Give us a thumbs up, or maybe share one of my videos if you would like to help me possibly one day reach my goal of being a proper musician, like a full-time musician. The best thing that you could ever possibly do for me is not necessarily give me money or anything like that. Obviously buying my EP helps me out a lot, but some people have offered to like send me money to help out buying instruments, and I don't want to just accept someone's money like that. Like, if you're paying me for something I've done like my EP, then obviously yeah, then that's really cool, but I don't want to just take someone's money. But the best thing, 100% best thing that you can do for an aspiring musician is to share their videos and try and spread word of mouth. That's 100% by far the best thing that you can do. Like, think about how you ever heard about any of your favorite musicians. You might have seen them on TV once, but what about before that? how did they become who they are? It's because people who believed in them shared the message and said, go and listen to this person, they're really cool. And yeah, it just means a lot to me when you do that. I'll see you again very soon, hopefully in that music video, or maybe I will record some more just live versions of the songs from my EP. Links in the description and links at the end of this video for everything else, and I will see you again soon. Bye! What do you mean I'm not 15? So I gathered up all my years just to end up in my 20s. Well, that's not how I had it planned. I want to get a better job, but there's still part